Hi, this is Lucintel bringing you market insights, and today we're focusing on the hydrogen industry. Hey, this is Lucintel, your favorite strategic consulting and market research company, bringing you the latest trends and insights. And today we are here to talk about the hydrogen industry. And is the supply chain ready to make it mainstream yet? And what are the challenges they are facing? As you all may know, the automotive industry has been experiencing a profound transformation due to a deep need for eco-friendly and sustainable products. And we've been seeing hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicles as quite a strong contender. But now the important question is the supply chain actually ready to make it completely mainstream? As you saw in the previous clips, I had the chance to speak with some pretty big players and got to hear what they had to say. And the hydrogen supply chain itself has over 1,000 players, right? We have the big ones like Honda, Toyota, Ford, Volvo, Nikola, and then we have the big raw material suppliers like DuPont, Arkema, Toray, and then the big parts fabricators and module fabricators like Bosch and Hexagon and Worthington and Ballard Power Systems. And all of these companies are investing pretty heavily in this industry because they believe.
And we believe, green hydrogen is really the future.
Yeah. And they aren't just investing in one node of the value chain. They're investing in quite a few. Here we can see from a few companies like DuPont, Bosch, and Element One who are really tackling different areas. So what specific part of the industrialization for hydrogen do you guys take part in?
We have been participating in fuel cell manufacturing from Germany and now in the US with some application in trucks. From Bosch, we have from the generation of the water, the electrolyzers. We have a team performing the electrolyzer. You can find it in the other book. Also in some components from the tanks, not the tank itself, but some components of that.
Okay.
So we have products that go all the way from electrolysis all the way to the fuel cell.
Right, and I saw also the water supply, and you guys are also part of the solar energy part?
Correct. So we have products that can be used in solar and wind.
Primarily, we make hydrogen and equipment to produce hydrogen from water, primarily with electrolyzers. And we also have storage systems for hydrogen using metal hydrides. And we can also use, we also perform compressed gas cylinders as well.
So as we can see, there's many big companies working on quite a bit of the supply chain of the hydrogen industry. And we wanted to ask them what they thought were the biggest supply chain issues and what challenges really needed to be overcome in order for hydrogen to become fully mainstream. And this is what we heard.
I think getting the cost of green hydrogen down, getting the electrolyzer cost down is going to be big. I think also figuring out transportation and storage of liquid hydrogen is going to be a big one.
Yeah, okay. And so you said a lot of it is cost, correct?
Yes.
And do you think kind of cost will go down as it comes to scale, or
yes,
testing required? What is kind of the biggest cost right now?
Yeah, I think once it gets to scale, and I think testing is also a huge challenge. Companies don't necessarily want to test in hydrogen conditions right now, so we're also looking at what are the standards, what are the regulations, what kind of testing is needed. I think that's also going to take a little bit more time.
Of course, in terms of mobility, there needs to be fueling stations across the country. You need a network, much like Tesla put in the charging stations. There needs to be an effort to put in fueling stations. I think that outside of that, I think that there is a market for it, and I think it's just going to be a matter of will and ability to get money involved to generate some of these larger scale projects.
And I think the biggest challenge now is the network to deploy all this fuel or this hydrogen along the roads and so on, similar as the electric one.
So you're talking about the infrastructure, the fueling stations.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because I know we're seeing them mainly in California. There's just like 59 in America, right? So what do you think needs to be really done to make these fueling stations more? Is it higher demand, more testing? What needs to be done so people start building more fueling stations?
I think that they need to be the result of this testing. To see the trucks or the vehicles already running, to perform how they perform, and then it creates the demand of this power.
Yeah. So it seems the top three issues are transportation, testing, and infrastructure. So hydrogen has a really low energy density by volume, which means it is required to store and be transported at a very high pressure, up to 700 bar, and that's when it's the compressed hydrogen. When it's the liquid hydrogen, it has to be kept at a very low temperature, which makes transportation and storage very expensive and pretty vulnerable to leaks and ruptures, which make it a bit more difficult. Since this is such a difficult element to work with, there are its challenges that come with it. And with the infrastructure, as we see right now in America, there's very few hydrogen fueling stations. And the ones that are, they're mainly concentrated in California. So sure, we can get people to buy these cars, but what does it matter if they can't actually refuel them anywhere? Yeah, they have a really long range, but not that far. So infrastructure is something that really needs to be worked on, and this may need help from government subsidization as well, and just heavy investment in order to make this far more available all across the states. And then we said testing. Like we said, this is a very difficult element to work with. So testing does not come easy, and it will take lots of money and a bit more time. Hydrogen is still in its early stages, and most of these companies don't think that it's going to become big mainstream until the year
in the next few years. So we're looking for a boom probably after 2030.
2030.
Yeah, I think the technology is there to do it. It's just a matter of willpower and money. So somebody has to decide that, yeah, this is a worthwhile endeavor, and there's a marketplace out there that we can participate in, and we can move the industry forward in that fashion. And I think that's I think 2025, 2026.
If you want to know more about the hydrogen vehicle supply chain and break down by segments and the readiness of each one, check out the article below that we have written, and it really goes into detail a lot more, from all the way from the part suppliers to the OEMs to fleet owners. Check out the video and drop a like, and thank you so much for watching. This is Lucintel bringing you your insights.